Hello everybody, this is Toysareruss, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the yolopark. This is the AMK series cheetor figure from Rise of the Beast. So in this video we're going to open them up in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. I'm going to have a go at building them straight up from scratch. There looks like there's quite a few pieces there, to be honest. I'm also of course going to bring in his studio series version of himself and a few other figures just to give you an idea of size and scale. Now, a couple of things before we get started. One, I need to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. And the other is to thank Show Z, because that is where this came from, and there's a direct link for this in the description. Now you can see here we've got the official Hasbro license there in the official Transformers font. As you can see, exactly that, this is licensed by them, so that's why they can use his proper name, and that's why you've got these brilliant likenesses and in fact movie images of the character himself. The figure itself, it says age 8+, it says choking parts, which means it's going to be some small bits, but I also imagine that these are going to be quite sharp. Now, I don't think for 1 minute they're going to be die cast, but they look like they're going to be quite sharp. So let's have a look inside. I've cut that part there ready just to speed things up, and let's have a look at him inside. Now, to be honest, I'm really looking forward to having a look at this. My only experience with yolopark is their AMK Megatron, which was, that's making a racket, I do apologize, which I was really impressed with. Now, I've seen pictures of these on the internet, loads of them, to be honest, and yes, I do like the look of them very much so. Let me just get this out, hopefully it won't make too much noise. Oh, there's two things in there. What's that? It doesn't look like this. I'm not too sure what that is at all. Let me have a quick look. So underneath we've got instructions. Apologies for the reflection. We've got, now I had no idea that was going to be there. So that is of course the upgrade kit for the Bumblebee from the same movie. I thought they were selling that separately, but obviously not. That's a brilliant little bonus if you've got the Bumblebee from these. We've got the instructions here. That is what he's going to look like. Brilliant movie representation of him. And there are the instructions. So it looks like we've got to build up. Yeah, there's way more pieces in this than there is with the Megatron. I mean, look at all that. There's loads. So there's far more going on there than there is with the Megatron figure. It looks like he's gonna have, I don't know what other word to use, I know this is obviously only associated with Terminator, but it looks like he's got a bit of an endoskeleton, and then you put the parts around him. Right, let's have a look then. So we've got the main torso. Now what I've decided to do, it may backfire, hopefully not, is just to, I suppose, discuss and build this up as I go through, so you've got an idea of what it's like rather than me just picking him out and building him up. So the detail on this is amazing. You can see we've got loads of ball and socket joints, loads of movement points here, so the articulation on this guy is going to be unreal, to be honest. It doesn't look too difficult. Let's hope it's not. You've got to apply a bit of pressure to push that in there. That's where the head's going to go, so there's a huge amount of articulation there. Now what I'm not going to say surprise me, but what I've noticed is there is only this head. There is, I can see 2, 4, 6 hands, so 3 sets of hands, so there's them there. We've got shoulder joints, and yeah, it definitely looks like we're going to build up what I can only describe as exactly that, an endoskeleton, and then start to attach all the pieces around it. So it's going to look a little bit odd at first. I'm just going off the images there and the images on the packaging. So it looks like we're going to have a huge shoulder pad. This is really quite stiff, guys. That's another reason why I'm doing this, just to again let you know that you can see here you've got to apply quite a bit of force to get these all the way in. And I suppose this is now a perfect example of what I meant by endoskeleton, because that just looks a little bit odd to me. But I can also already see in the packaging that there's other parts to attach to this. So we're going to attach the arms on, and again you can see that there's all these points here of articulation where they're going to move backwards and forwards. Let's have a look at the legs. This is the legs, so that's the back, because there's the heel, there's the knee, and yeah, you're looking for these 2 bits to be at the front, and then this is going to slide up and over. Yep, perfect. Same on this side. One thing that isn't really a massive, deal breaker, in fact it's not a deal breaker at all, this just feels really flimsy. I don't know why, it just really does. Right, here's the feet, and do you know what, they are really sharp. They're very, very sharp. So be careful with that, especially when you are starting to build this up. Now, this figure is 18 centimeters, so it's going to be quite big, which I believe it's just a couple of centimeters smaller than masterpiece scale, though. And I believe, again, the reason why they're not any bigger is for exactly that reason, so they don't scale with masterpiece figures. So there you go. That is an endoskeleton. It looks very odd, to be honest. So we've got these parts here. This is going to attach. There's a cutout, there's a tab and a hole. So this is going to be the side, yep, of the forearms. That's gonna, I was gonna say snap into place, but that's an over exaggeration. You've just got to forcefully push it in. Here's a giant shoulder pad. Is this going to fit into there relatively? Yep, bang, that clicks in. Big noise there. I'm just making sure, yeah, that's the right way around, because that's going over to the back. You can just move it slightly forward, or have I got it on backwards? No, that's definitely there. I can see on the picture. So now he's starting to look a little bit more like it. Right, so we've got an open hand, we've got a gripping hand. I'm going to go with the gripping hand because, to be honest, I think, yeah, I'm going to be putting the staff in his hands. So let's have a go with this. Pop this on. Again, guys, this is really stiff. You've got to apply a lot of pressure, a lot of force. Yeah, you've got open in hand, partially open hand, and a gripping hand. There we go, that's gone on there. So same principle on this side. It does look good though. I mean, these, again, because they're licensed, officially licensed, they've got, I suppose, to uphold some standards. They've got to be really exactly like they appear in the movie. And nowadays, with today's technology, there's no excuse, to be honest, why they don't, especially if you've got the licensing to have it look like he did in the movie, a true representation of it. Now, again, I think a lot of people have said this already, that perhaps you don't get to see him too much as a robot. He is mainly in his alternate mode. But what I did suggest when I was having a look at some of the pictures of this, because the robot mode of this is going to be so good and so detailed, you could perhaps keep this in robot mode and then have your Studio Series as the alternate mode for your display. Right, what have we got here? Oh, there's a shoulder pad here that I've missed on the front, so it's not really a shoulder pad. It looks like it's coming over the bicep. Now he's starting to look more like a cheetor, as stupid as that sounds, because he just looked like a normal robot with the fact that there was just gunmetal grey and metal everywhere. Right, nearly done. Apologies if this has bored you all the way through, but I think, again, I want to give you a true reflection and a true representation of what it's like to get it straight out of the packaging. There we go. We've got them. They're going to line up with that. As I said, far more pieces than the Megatron. That's gone in. But that is it. We've just got accessories left. I'm not going to change any more hands because you've just seen how to put them on. So it's really that simple. I'm just going to take out his giant spears. And as I say, there's another 2 sets of hands in there that I'm not going to be using. So we've got a choice. We can pop one in each hand. Yes, we can. Like so. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Or, of course, we can do these tab together, literally, by the looks of it, as simple as that. He says that, and then, of course, they won't go and tab together. Always jinx myself. Now, the problem I've got, obviously, is not being able to put it through. So what I would suggest you do is push through, then connect it together for obvious reasons. And then even if it doesn't fully clip in, the hand will hold it in place. That looks really, really good, to be honest. Really good. I'm just looking at the back if there's anywhere to store it like the movie figure, but there's not that I can see. There is the Studio Series. You can see what I mean. He towers above the Studio Series version. Now, although I don't obviously have any Rise of the Beasts movie figures in masterpiece scale, this is what I wanted to show you, because a lot of people, when I got the Megatron figure, said, oh, you know, you can use that instead of a standing Megatron, but they are deliberately, I've been told, deliberately scaled down, so you can't put them with your masterpiece figures. You've got to basically, it's a bit cheeky, isn't it, really, but you've got to basically buy all of the ones from this particular line. It's nowhere near as big as a Masterpiece, but on the other hand, again, a little bit more annoyingly, it is much bigger than your Voyager class mainline figure. Excuse me. If I bring in some of the deluxe figures from mainline, it's towering above them as well, so it doesn't scale with anything. In fact, it's pretty much in its own scale, and again, that will serve the purpose for you to keep buying all of them, so you've got them all in your correct scale. I'm just popping these up for exactly that reason, just to give you an idea of how big he is, depending on whichever toy line that you collect. Obviously, he looks like a giant compared to these legend scale figures. Let's have a quick look then. So there's not too much point going over articulation because you've just seen me build it up, and by my own admission, I'm rubbish at posing, so I'm going to perhaps not try too many. So the foot has an ankle tilt and rock. You can even move the toes up and down. Just a reminder, they are sharp. There's a knee bend there. There's a full range of motion on that. You can move the, I was going to call it a hip skirt, but it's not. It's a bum skirt. It is. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You can move that backwards and forwards. There's obviously swiveling at the elbows, bicep flexion. The hands we already know will spin because you can change them. The head will look up and down, move up and down, twist side to side. You've got an ab crunch, a lean over. There's loads of things on this. It is fully posable. And again, I've seen some great pictures from people who can pose these figures way better than myself. I do have a few other Rise of the Beast figures just to show you mainline ones. Again, just how out of scale he is. He's way taller than Rhinox. He's going to tower above this little Optimus, and he's even going to be way taller, oh no, about the same size as Leader Class Scourge. So there you go. Funny enough, I've got the yolopark version of Scourge on the way as well, so we can see how good they look together. But to be honest, I think, thank you for putting up with my waffling as I've built him up, but I hope, as I say, that I've covered all the things on it, and as I say, helped you build up your own if you get one, and indeed just showing you everything about it. The detail on it is sensational. I can show you some more detail, but it is exactly what it says on the package. It is a proper representation of how he looked in the movie. So with the fact you've got the dark, you know, greys, the reflective greys, gunmetal greys, etc., he is exactly as he appeared in the movie, and there's nothing more I can add to that, or to, you know, or to say to that, or because you can see it with your own eyes. But there you go, guys, there he is. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.